Lulu. So, I promised the kids that got 100% on this map of Africa, if they could find, all 54 countries, that I would take them to lunch, a nice lunch. So that's where we are today. I rarely go out here, maybe like once every 3 weeks or once a month at the most. So I needed to get out of the village as well, or out of Chipatso village. Anyway, that was my excuse to tell the kids if they got 100% that we could all go to lunch. But here we are at Ngoza Lodge. It's very beautiful here. This is probably my favorite one, even though it's not the best view of the lake because it's crowded, blocked by trees, but it is just like you're in this lush garden oasis. And actually, I had lunch the other day when I took the kids out at Sun and Sand. I just forgot that I took them out there. So I've had 2 lunches out pretty recently. But Kim's buying food for me now in Lilongwe. I really don't even have anything at home to make. I don't have canned. I have nothing canned. I have no pasta. All I have is rice. That's the only thing I have in my house right now. So Kim's stocking me up with some stuff right now. Yeah, right. So that's what we did. We split. So I was with Trevor and Shukrani. They both got 100% on this map test, the map of Africa. And let me flip this around. So I got a beef burger, a chicken burger, and a veggie burger. And the 3 of us, got a third of each. And I just split it between them. And I asked the boys, I was like, so, is there one that you'd like more than the others? Do you want your own the next? If you come here again, would you just want your own? Like, no, we want to share again the next time. They liked having the little kind of sampler. It was fun. It's more fun. I like doing that. Because then you always think someone else's tastes better. Like, you always want what somebody else is eating. That's how I am anyway. So they got 100%. There's a map online that they have to, they give you the name. It says, okay, Burkina Faso, and then you have to find it on this map of Africa, and they got 100%. I took the test. I only got 55%. They did better than me. And then all of the kids, like the older kids, all failed. But I failed too, but still. I didn't study. They've been studying for a week, and they're supposed to be studying even more, and they didn't. So they all failed. My English test was on the African countries, but it was for English class, and they all failed, even though they've had weeks to study, and 2 weeks we've been working on it. Very disappointed, to say the least. Extremely disappointed. And that's how I've been with this older group. Like, I didn't put the grades up of the older group. I think we've sent grades, I think we sent midterm grades to their sponsors, their educational sponsors, but I recommend these kids all go to public school next year. They don't have any enthusiasm. They're no drive, no interest, nothing. They come in, they're just like a bump on a log. Raheem got 30% on the map test, and I gave him an extra 5% because no one would volunteer to go first. He said, okay, I'll go first. I said, I'll give you 5% more. He still only got 35%, even with 5% more. That's what he got on the map test. It's so disappointing. I think it was 35. Wait, hold on a second. Let me check. Got 44%, plus I gave him 5. So he still got 49%, even with the 5% boost. So disappointing. They just goof around. They don't care. They're out. They say it's Kuyendienda is what they call it. If anybody's on here from Malawi, Kuyendienda, it just means like moving up and down the village. They just walk up and down the village all day. They spend their time so frivolously. And I taught them how to crochet. I taught them how to embroider. I've taught them how to play the recorder. I've taught them all these different things that they could be spending their time on. I've taught them good study skills. I've taught them life skills too. I go over life skills with them, and they just don't care. They have no drive. I think it's generational. That's part of it too. It's like the mother is uneducated. She's never had any type of education. The eldest sister never did well in school. She's still not doing well, even though she keeps trying to go back and finish her freshman year of high school. She can't get through her freshman year of high school. They don't speak English well. I'll tell you, Raheem has shown the most improvement, though. Out of all of them, I think Raheem has shown the most improvement. But he's still not studying. He's still not doing what he needs to do to pass his class. So if Shukrani is the youngest and from the most vulnerable family out of all of them, his family was the most vulnerable out of all the families that we've had in the program. I think his was that probably on par with Selena and Tiesta's family. They were like probably even more vulnerable because there were 6 of them were living in a square box. It was like this teeny little, maybe 7 feet by 7 feet of grass and sticks. That's what they were living in, 6 of them. Hey, Andrea, I'm doing really well. How about yourself? This has your last name, so now I know Andrea. Sunshine, right? Is it the same Andrea, Sunshine? So, and he got, altogether, he got 100% on the MAP test, and then I think he got like 60% on the other one. The other test was to list all the countries in alphabetical order. Shokurani got 76% altogether. I averaged the 2 tests. He got 76%. Rahim got 49% with a 5% bonus because he volunteered to go first. Yeah, I know the water. I was gonna say with the watermelons. So that to me is just showing that if Shokurani, how old are you? He's 10 years old, from the most vulnerable family that we have in the program, got higher than all the older kids. And he's, what standard? 4th grade. He was in 4th grade. He was failing 4th grade, but he was in 4th grade. And these kids have already gone through 6th, 7th, and some of them were in 8th grade when we took them out of 8th because they were all failing their classes. So hello. Hello. So that to me just shows that they just don't have any interest. They don't care. They have no interest, and they can just mosey on along. I have other things. I could be painting my murals. I could be doing any number of things. It's just a waste of my time, and I refuse to. I could be on TikTok. I could be TikToking for the 2 hours that I'm teaching them English, which is what I might be doing. I'm just upset. It was just such a I think I'm more disappointed than anything. It just like really hurts me that kind of like they just don't care. Sorry, we only help people in Cape Maclear. We have a nonprofit organization here, and we're only allowed through our nonprofit to help people from Cape Maclear. So unless you're from Cape Maclear, the organization can't help. And there's a lot of people in need here, especially children in need. So that's where the money for the program goes, to the children that are in need here, that need food and education. But anyway, so that was a little bit disappointing this morning. But besides that, turn the camera around. I got to have lunch here, so this was nice. I even ordered dessert. We're waiting for dessert. Here, Trevor. Congratulations. 100%. Good job. And what did you do to get 100%? You what? Studied more. Okay, that's it. Shukrani, what did you do to get 100%? Studied. That's it. No, there are no kids by the... Oh, maybe no, not down there. No, it's an adult down there. Studied. That's all they did was studied. And they're the youngest out of all 6 kids. These 2 are the youngest. Yeah? Go ahead. It's going to be... Go on, go walk around. It's going to be like 20 minutes or 15 more minutes. No, now 10. 10 minutes before they bring the dessert. Go on. Yeah, she says congratulations. I know. Did you check it out? Go see. Go see if it's cold. You put your feet in there or your hand. There's a swimming pool here. They're gonna go check it out. I know. I'm so proud of these 2. These guys care and they try and they make an effort. The other ones, they don't care. So there's no point in continuing their education through Chipatso. There really isn't. If they don't care, they can just go to public school. Probably will. The ones that live on site probably still continue their nutrition program, so at least they get fed through the program. But the other one, Unique would be the only one that would be out. Unless it's Ngoza. Unless her sponsor wants to continue sponsoring her, but I don't see the point. I think it's a waste of money personally, and I will tell her sponsor that. I have no problem. I'm not wasting people's money here, and if the kids are not trying, they don't care. Bye. Move on to the next kids that care and that want to do better and want an education and want to hopefully get out of this cycle of poverty that's going on here. I mean, maybe Rahim could work at Chipatso doing something, you know. I don't know. He could be, groundskeeper. I mean, there's, in the restaurant, he'd make a great bartender. He's super friendly. He has a great personality. Or maybe if we have some kind of a trade school, maybe he'd go into trade school and learn something at the trade school. But we don't have a trade school yet. So I don't know what's going to happen to him. We'd love to build one. Lulu. So anybody wants to help build a trade school in a really remote part of Africa, let me know. I'm thinking probably be like $100,000. A waiter? There's a waiter around somewhere. Why, you see somebody around? Maybe that was who was walking by. Yeah, help with the bakery is only for single mothers. That's what we got the grant for, single mothers to work in the bakery. Security? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Oh, to continue sponsoring for school? I don't think you should. He's your sponsored kid, right, Lulu? Are you sponsoring Raheem? I think you're the right. I don't think it's Maya. Maya doesn't sponsor him in school. I think it's you, right? I can't keep track of all the different kids who's sponsoring who. No, the little ones are the dog walkers. They love like innocent. Innocent's failing too. I got a D. So frustrating that some of the kids that speak the best English are the ones that are also doing very terribly. And those are like the boys band. Just can't. It's just difficult. They were all kids that were on the street. And I don't know. It's been very difficult. They were not in school. Maybe they'd really never even gone to school on a regular basis. And that's the problem. They don't speak English. And so if they're not going to try my class, they're still not going to speak English. They're not going to do well on their grades. All courses are taught in English here. Once they hit, I think it's 4th grade or 5th grade, it's all in English, every class. So if they don't speak English or understand English, that's it. He thinks he's going into 8th grade. He can't even pass 5th grade material. So I don't know what, people just kept pushing him on into the other grades. Yes, yeah, they're gonna let him take the test, I think, next week. Yeah, he was doing very well. He took 2 tests. He had taken 2 and then he became very ill. So they are gonna let him do a makeup test in a couple weeks. Or maybe next week. And that was just the midterms anyway. That wasn't for the final, but I guess he would still need credit for the midterms in order, like maybe they factor it all in, or maybe they just take a final exam and they count everything on the final exam. I don't know how they do their grading, but he will be allowed to take the test. That was not his fault. He was ill. So yeah, I don't know what to say to him. I've tried and tried to talk to these kids. I've had long conversations, lectures. I've lectured them. We've talked to their mothers. We've talked to them. It's like on and on. Just energy used up for no reason. And it's frustrating me. It made me in a very, very foul mood today. I kicked them out of class 2 days ago, and I said, I don't even, guys, they couldn't do any. I gave them just a practice quiz on Monday. They didn't know any of it. I was like, you know what, you guys, just leave. Go study for a couple days. Come back on Thursday and take the test. I don't even want to look at you guys. Just go. Just get out of here. Leave me alone. Are there any teachers on here? Professional teachers? I'm not a professional teacher, but I don't know how you do it. I really don't. And it's only 4 kids in the class. It's not even like 36 or 30 kids in the class. Hello. Yeah, I tapped out on Monday. I was like, I'm done with you guys. Just go. And they're just very typical teenagers, and I hope they realize what they're giving up and how they're blowing their futures. Seriously, like, they are going to regret this. At some point in their lives, they are going to regret this. And I feel bad, but nothing you can do. Like, I remember when I was 13, 14, you couldn't tell me shit. I mean, it's like, I did what I wanted to do. I was out smoking and carousing with my friends, but I was at school every day, and I got D's. That's why I didn't really care. I didn't really want to be there. I didn't feel like being there. So I don't like to kick kids out because they get D's and F's, but this is a different program. This is not give them a chance until they're, you're blue in the face. This was their last chance. This was like summer school that they had for a whole year to go to a program that was like one-on-one to tutor them to get through their classes so that they could then go on to repeat the grade that they were taken out of because they were failing that grade. So they were failing their classes the first term. There are 3 terms for each year. So they failed the first term, so we took them out, and we've been tutoring them for almost 2 terms now. We just finished the midterm for the second term. And I've not seen really much like gumption, if that makes any sense, or much enthusiasm for the class or for learning or anything. The 2 younger ones are all for it. They're great. They love it. They're here. They got a nice lunch out of it. They're going to get dessert, right? It pays to study hard. It pays to work hard. And when they have jobs, when they have real jobs, they're going to see the harder you work, the more time you put in, the more effort. You're recognized for that, hopefully. If you don't have a stupid boss, you're recognized for that. You move up the ladder. That's the whole point of working hard and being there early and doing what you need to do to get the job done. Then you move up. You make more money, you move up, and you move up. Right? But those kids, and so we weren't sure if it was because they didn't really understand the school. Hey, Diana, I'm just talking about the kids in the tutoring program that are just, I booted the older kids out. The two younger kids got better grades on the same, I gave them the same exact test. The two younger kids got better grades than all of the older kids, than any of them, all four of them. They got better grades than all four of them. I'm just very disappointed and very upset that they would just waste their time and not study and not do well on this exam. It really makes me angry. Not one of them came in during their free time to study. Not one, because I had the computer where they would study the map test. Trevor came in during lunch and after school. Shukurani came in during lunch and after school to practice this test. The two of them, and they both got 100% on the test. Both of them. Very disappointed. So I just told him, I said, just leave. I don't even want to look at them anymore. So we were wondering if it was the school or the teachers, or if it was the material, if they didn't understand English, like what was preventing them from getting good grades, or why they failed their classes. That's kind of what we also wanted to see when they were brought into our program. No, they weren't doing well on it. They don't care. They just don't even, they don't do, I mean, they did well at schoolwork. Like my schoolwork is just to write out words. I'm just teaching vocabulary words. They have to write the word over and over and over. So they do that sometimes, not all the time. But I've realized it was not the class. It was not schoolwork. It wasn't the teacher. It wasn't any of that. It was the student. That's why they're not doing, because I started with just like from the bottom. First alphabet, make sure they all know the alphabet. Make sure they all know beginner vocabulary words. And then I ramped up from there. Then we did verbs, and we did pronouns, adverbs, and then sentence structure, so punctuation. So we've been kind of going up slowly to make sure that they understand. And it is not the school, it is not the class, it's not that, it's not their English ability, it's the student is what it is, because they just don't care, and they don't try, and they just don't want to be bothered. No, it's not. It's not. They didn't try. They were never at my house to practice the test. I live on the same property as the kids. Unique is the only one who lives across the street, and she lives across the street. She doesn't even live in a different village. She lives literally like, right. You guys know there's a church right across from us? She lives in back of that church. She lives across the street, and all the other kids are my neighbors, live next door to my house. And not one of them came in during their time off, during lunch or after school, to practice this map test on my laptop. Yet the younger ones did, and got 100% each. And those kids failed. No, it didn't seem like it. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly the same thing. They don't care. They just don't care. They don't have, but, supposedly Caribou is like doing well, but he never brought his grades for me to see. I don't know. Crispo, the same, but he's in school, and supposedly he's like doing okay in school. I haven't seen his grades. Like, I haven't seen grades for any of those kids that are no longer with our program that are still in school. I don't know what they're doing or how they're doing. I have no idea. And I wish them well. And that's what I told the kids. I said, I wish you guys the best of luck. Good luck. Bye. See ya. I'm just done. I can't even go through another month with them. I cannot do it for my own mental and emotional well-being. I just cannot deal with those kids anymore. I just can't. So that's now 4 more kids out of the education program, plus Tiesa, that's 5, who decided to be a prostitute at 13 instead of being in an educational program that pays for everything and gives her everything she needs. What can you do? There's nothing I can do. It's so frustrating and sad. Horrible. Just horrible, horrible, horrible. When people just see day to day. They don't look at the long term, what this could be something long term, because we are here to support them in all their educational needs, all their nutrition needs. We don't give dinners, but we give breakfast and lunch. And for most people, most of the kids, that's more than they were getting before. A lot of them only got one meal, and sometimes not even that. So they definitely get breakfast and lunch every day. They get clothes, they get shoes, they get trips, they get lunches out for their birthdays, they get like whatever else. Sometimes we give them laundry soap and bathing soap if we can. If people make donations, we're able to give them those things. Umbrellas, mosquito nets. What else? School shoes. Diana, what else? I mean, Lulu, what else have we given them? You guys have been around. Uniforms for school, but backpacks for school, pens, pencils, notebooks, everything that they could possibly need, they are getting from us. Lights, flashlights. Laura brought a bunch of flashlights I gave out to kids. I think it's just so dumb. Beds, mattresses, houses. I built a house for one family, for Shukrani's family, right? They need a house, so I built them a house. We built houses for 3 other families. It's like roofs. Where's Deedles? Deedles put a roof on her family's home. I think two people put roofs on their. I know Deedles is one. Bicycles. They've gotten, yes. Blankets. That's right. Blankets they've gotten. Pillows. Some people have bought pillows for their kids. It's like what more could they want? More than they ever had before. All of our kids were sleeping on the floor. They didn't have anything. Nothing. Zero. Nope. They're out, and I'm not getting close to any of these kids. The kids that were in my group, the older group, I'm not going to let them go through Lulu stuff either. They're done. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not giving them any extras at all, and let them suffer and see what it's like. Yeah, Raheem got. Oh, I bought kids watches. I brought when I was in. Also, who else got? Crispo got a watch too. I think from Noella bought Crispo, and I bought Mike and Rich watches when I was in Japan. They've gotten watches. We bought alarm clock. I got an alarm clock for, what's her name? Sharon. I got her an alarm clock. Whatever. If these kids need something, if they ask me, I try and get it for them. No more, not those kids. I'm not going to give them anything when Lulu's stuff gets here. Lulu, I hope you're okay with that. I don't feel like they should be gifted anything for lack of interest in the program and lack of work, or they just don't give a sh. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. And I've warned them. I pay for their medical bills. Yes, I pay for everything for these kids. I pay, you guys pay, the sponsors pay, everybody that's chipped in money that's helping this program. We've all paid thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this program. Hundreds of thousands I've put in. So what can you do? No, I can't do any more. Just be frustrated and sad for them, for their loss. We'll see how they do in the other classes. They still have, they have math, they have Chichewa, and they have social studies. So I'm curious to see what their grades are in those classes. And I told the 3 other teachers, I said, if you can convince me that these kids should stay in the program, please go ahead. But as far as I'm concerned, they're out. Yeah, I will recommend that their sponsors stop supporting them. That's what I will do. I will say, hey, your kid failed. I do not recommend that they go to private school anymore. And I recommend they go to the public school. If they're not going to try, if they want to go to school, let them go to public school. It's free. Go ahead. Good luck. Ultimately, I'm responsible for everybody's money. Whatever money comes to me through Chipatso, I'm responsible for it. I'm not going to recommend that a kid stay in the program if their grades are not good, if their lack of enthusiasm or effort. Nope. Bye. See ya. I mean, I feel bad for the sponsors, but I've already had to do it. We've already had kicked out 15 kids or something from this program in just 2 years. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think that's a lot. I think that's really sad that 15 kids gave up having all these things paid for: food, clothes, school, everything paid for. That's crazy to me. If I had that kind of chance, I mean, this is like once in a lifetime chance. Nobody here, first of all, nobody here in this village has that kind of opportunity, except with Charlie. Charlie does give out some scholarships as well. And my neighbor, but she only gives it to her family members because her husband has a big family, so she helps support his family. But as far as just random scholarships and that to just random kids, I think Charlie and I are the only ones doing that. I would have been booted. I would have been booted from my own program, for sure. But maybe not because I was always like, I was like the teachers. I was like chummy with teachers, and you know, I was very social. I'll just say that I was a very social student. Just didn't do well on tests. But hey, it's an educational program, so if you want, just go to public school. Don't do us any favors, you know. The whole point is to get these kids into secondary school and into university. That's the whole point, and hopefully have them be able to get a good job once they finish college, which, you know, I don't know if they'll be able to. I can always send them to another country because, you know, we have I will hopefully have the funding to get them passports and encourage them to move into other countries to get jobs if they can't find one here. But that's what this is all about, is to, you know, support kids to get out of the cycle of poverty. That's what it is. And I feel like the only way they can do it here is through education. We might be able to set up some, maybe Raheem will be our barber and our ear piercer. Maybe I'll just make a little booth and have him do that and make money from that. There you go. He might be good at that, actually. That would work. And have he can just like maybe pay a little rent or something and have him there. See, I mean, I definitely could use people in the restaurant. We can use people. I can give people jobs, but I just, you know, feel like they're really blowing it. Really blowing it. Really missing out on an amazing opportunity. Do you realize like how lucky that you are? Like how lucky you are to be in Chipatso? Do you? What do you think about the program?
Give me clothes, mattress, food to eat, goes me to Yanko, spoon, uniform. Give me lots of things.
Yeah, can you guys hear him? He's just listing the different things that Chipatso has given him. And what do we ask of you? What do we want you to do? Go to school. Go to school and study hard and do well in school. That's it. Oh, I took the kids. They got 100% on their last test that they took, so I'm taking them to lunch at Mgoza. It was put out to all the kids. Whoever got 100%, I said I would take them for lunch here at Mgoza Lodge. So here we are. We shared, what did we have to eat? What did we share? What burgers? Do you remember?
Vegetable,
Veggie burger?
beef,
Beef burger
chicken.
and chicken burgers. That's it, Lulu. They don't have the drive. That's it. They do not have the drive. So we got 3 burgers, and I just cut them in thirds, and we each had a third of each one. Yeah, it was really good. And then we're waiting for our dessert. We're going to share one dessert. Nope, and I wouldn't want her to. She has a really terrible attitude. I don't know what her problem is. I don't know what it is. I'm very disappointed in her, and her attitude's been really, really not very good lately. So, nope. The only kids I would let work at Chipatso would be the kids that are living at Chipatso that need the jobs because they live there, and I wouldn't want them just not doing anything, if that makes sense, just like mooching off of what's going on. So if they're working, then we pay them, and then they can buy their own food and clothes and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't want them just hanging out, not doing anything. So those are the kids that will get jobs if and when that time comes. I mean, let's see how Raheem does on his test. Yeah, just 4 of them. For me, I will see 4 kids. They just failed their last English test, and the 2 little kids, the younger kids that are in the other group. I have 2 groups. I have the older kids in one group, and then the 2 youngest kids are in another group. They had the same exact test, exactly the same. Trevor got 96%. Shokolani got 75%, right? Or 76%? What'd you get? 75%. And then all the other kids failed the test. There were 2 parts to it. One was electronic map that they had to find each country in Africa on the map. Like it says, you know, where's Kenya? And you have to click on Kenya. You have to click on all the different countries. And then you had to write out all the countries in alphabetical order. And they had to draw a map of Africa and list all the countries on the map. So I gave them the 3 tests. I only gave the other ones 2 tests because they did so poorly. Like I knew they weren't going to be able to label a map. So why even bother? So I took, of the older kids, the younger ones that had the 3 tests, I took the lowest one off, and then I averaged the 2 tests together. But they got 100% each on the map, on the identification of the countries on the map. So they got 100% on that. Yeah. Look at this guy. He's 10 years old, 100%. Right? How many minutes? And how many seconds? 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And you?
2 minutes and 5 seconds.
And you got below 2 minutes before. When he was like in my house one time, he was doing it like over and over and over. He got below 2 minutes. So these two little guys got, two younger ones got 100% each on the map test. And then, hold on a second, folks. I got to call Kim back. Hold on just a second. Yeah, hello, I'm back. Yeah, so the two younger guys, and I told all the kids, whoever gets 100%, I'll take out to lunch. And they're the only two that got 100%. And they tried. They came during lunchtime and they came after school. So that's why they got 100%. So it just shows the older ones could have gotten 100% easily. Easily could have gotten 100%. And they chose to just not study and not care, basically. I mean, they studied a little bit. They got 33%. Unbelievable. Nope. Unique, Chipatso, Raheem, and Fanis. I mean, Fanis already would have been kicked out. She was already doing terribly all through the whole year. She was already getting Fs the whole time. And then Raheem and Unique were kind of like Ds, pretty low Ds. And then Chipatso once in a while would get a C, but sometimes the Ds are at, like, depending on what the test was, but she was also down there, Cs. And these guys are like B, A. Okay. Oh, good. Look at that. Already in thirds. All right, folks. Here, you got to see her. I got one dessert. No, I'm still recuperating. Oh, we need one more plate? Oh, there's 3 here. I didn't see the other one here. Sorry. Okay. Look at this. Trevor. Shukrani, that's yours. Whoops. Look at this. Yum. All right, Shukrani, go for it. And I have a little bit of my burger left for the dogs. It's like a little teeny. Even the dogs are gonna get a little treat. He can go hiking. I mean, I'll still take him on the trip to what is it? What's the peak called? Mulanje Peak. I'll still take him on that hike, but I'm not taking him on Kilimanjaro. I'm not spending $3,000 for Kilimanjaro. 10, and how old are you, 12?
12.
10 and 12. And they did better than the kids are like 15 and 16 and 17. And then Tiesa was kicked out because she hasn't been showing up for school at all. Tiesa's out. So that's 5. And we'll see how they did in their other classes. If they did really well in their other classes and just failed English, then I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe leave it up to their sponsors, depending on their grades, leave it up to the sponsors and see if they want to continue sponsoring them. I don't know. Right? You would think. But they failed English. They're not going to do well in their classes. All the classes are in English. From 5th grade up, it's all in English. So if they don't speak English well, they don't understand English, they're not going to do well in their classes. So I don't see the point. If they're failing my English class, what's the point of putting them in a school where it's all English? I don't think there's any reason. If they're not making an effort at this class, I mean, our classes are easy compared to classes at a normal school. You do understand that too, right? I mean, I've been asked, I said, is this class easy or hard? Like compared to, Bianca said, this is easy. Yeah, it is, because I'm just giving them vocabulary words, and they watch movies, and we do knitting projects, and we do crochet, and we're doing like all these fun things, and we do a lot of art projects. And so, I mean, if they're not trying, they're not going to try at Yanko, so there's no point. No point. Maybe they did well at the public school and got into a good high school. Maybe leave it up to them to like really succeed and get accepted to a good high school. I don't know. Maybe sponsors could re-sponsor them at that point. I think Diana and I talked about that with Carabo. If he gets into a good high school, why not? You know.
Hey.
But I'm done with them in my English class. None of them have ever tried that hard. None of them ever gotten more than a D or a C. C minus is like the highest they've ever gotten in my class. They just don't put in effort. They don't care. I pretty much give the same test to these kids. All the kids get the same test. And these kids are doing fine. And A's. Trevor's gone straight A's at every test. Chokorani gets A's. And he's like way younger than those kids. Exactly. Exactly. Make room for other kids. And I would ask, oh, how was it? I mean, how was it? It was past tense. Gone. I could eat 2 of those whole by myself easily. Is that the best dessert? Good?
No.
You don't like it?
Ice cream.
Oh, Trevor says he likes ice cream more. Oh, I'm making a lemon dessert today. I'm making one. I'll give you tomorrow. Today? Tonight? All right, maybe if we finish making it. I'm making lemon bars. But, yeah, these guys, I don't know what to do with them. I really don't. Not my problem. It's their problem. It won't work. And this is why they were failing. That's my point. Like, it wasn't because of the class. It wasn't that they didn't speak English. It's because they don't give an effort and they don't have very, very poor attitudes when they come in. I mean, sometimes I get them to laugh and we're having a good time, but other times it's just like, wow, could you have a more sour look on your face? I know it's a testing day, but I want to see if you retained any of the information that I spent a whole week or 2 weeks teaching you. You know, let's see if you remember any of it or you have any interest in studying it. Yep, I know, right? Well, on him, it's all on them, not on us. We tried. That's all we can say is we tried. We did our best, gave them a chance. But if they're going to fail tests that are easy, obviously, I know that they could have passed because these 2 did. So that is on them 1,000%. This is not like, oh, it was a very difficult test and there was no way they could have passed it and da-da-da. No, they all had the same test. And the 2 younger kids scored very high and got 100. They took 2 tests. So on one of them, they got 100%. So these kids didn't even get close to that on the one test, and they did even worse on the second part of it. So they got like 2 bad grades. These guys did exceptional on one, and then exceptional Trevor did, and then Shokorani did okay on the other one. Shokorani still did better on the second test than all those other kids. So he's 10 years old, and he did better than all the other kids underneath it, like the older ones. Shokorani, you should be very proud. How do you show? Wait. Show them. Wait, when you're proud of yourself. Wait, what do you do? Let's see. What do you do when you're proud of yourself? That's right. Give yourself a pat on the back. Huh? What? Shokorani, where's the dessert? You're gonna lick the plate? He scraped it clean. Wait, here's Shokorani's plate. Oh, no. Here, no. That's not nice at a restaurant. I was joking. That's Shokorani's plate. They don't care. I showed them the grades of the younger kids. They didn't care. I would have been embarrassed if I were them. I showed all the kids each other's grades. I showed the older kids how well Shokorani and Trevor did, and then I felt, well, Shokorani and Trevor should see their grades if I showed the older kids, and they saw. But they tried. They were there at my house during lunch and after school, practicing this test, and that's why they got 100%. Oh, they should be. And they're out of my... I don't want to teach them anymore. Like, I don't want to look at them. Just go away. Go do whatever you want to do. What they call a Koyendienda. Go Koyendienda. All day, all night, I don't care. Koyendienda is what they call them. They say moving up and down the village. All right, you guys, go to class. Oh, you're late. Go on. Run. Run. Run, you're late. Whose class is it? Which class? Brave? Tell him I'm sorry, okay? Tell Brave I'm sorry. All right, Zikomo Kwambiri. Oh, sorry, you guys got me see my close up of my double chin. Wait, let me take you. Okay, let me show the view here. They can stay as long as they want. They only get $50 a month, so I don't think that's enough to improve their lifestyles. I think it's enough, to pay for dinners, to buy a few groceries for dinner. Everyone that lives on site gets breakfast and lunch, so they don't pay for that. So with the $50 a month, they're paying for their dinners and maybe a little bit extra, maybe soap, maybe. It's really not a lot of money. I mean, I couldn't live off $50 a month. Not even here I couldn't. I mean, and stuff has doubled in price. The kwacha is really devalued. Kim is just showing me prices of things he's at a market right now in Lilongwe, and it's crazy. Sheets and towels have doubled in price. Everything's doubled since I was there last. It's really, really terrible. So I don't know how people are getting by here. I really don't. But oh, I know how Mulungana, what's her name? Yasmin also works for Chipatso. She gets paid 50. So they make 100. So there's 8 people. So they get 100 a month, which is good that Yasmin is working and helping out. She's 18 years old and was failing her freshman year, so I stopped supporting her. How you doing? Good. Oh yeah, it's really pretty here. It's like a little jungle back here. I can't really see the lake very well, but it's really pretty. Very lush and green. I was hoping that their kids would, go to university and make money and hopefully be able to, build their mothers a home somewhere, build the family a house off the site. But so far, Yasmin is not going to be able to. I doubt Rahim will be able. Maybe. I mean, if he makes enough at a restaurant working, I don't know. The future is very uncertain for these kids. If they're not in school, I really can't say what's going to happen. No, she's not in university. She's actually, oh, did you not hear the story? What happened to Sharon? Oh my gosh. So she was a straight A student. Maybe she got like a couple B's. I'd been sponsoring her for 4 years. So she was always amazing grades. And she started her senior year and failed the first term, failed the second term. And then she got suspended because she was hanging out with friends on Sunday. I guess they're not supposed to be in clubs on Sunday or something really crazy. And she got suspended for 4 weeks. So she missed a month of the 3rd semester. There's no way. She was failing, and missing a month of the 3rd semester. There's no way she's not going to be able to pass her senior year. So that's Sharon. I don't know what it is. Oh, if she wanted a job, yeah, I can ask her. I'll ask her. So she was in her senior year of high school and doesn't look like she's going to be making that. I suggested she take some time off and regroup and start her senior year over at a private school in September, and she did not want to. She wanted to complete her senior year at this school and take the senior exam, I guess, or... Oh yeah, absolutely. She had been extremely. And I could show you her past grades. She'd been doing very, very well for all the years that I've been sponsoring her. Do you have the total I can pay? Yes. The moms make $50 a month, and the kids have educational sponsors and nutrition sponsors. So, and the mothers eat at Chipatso as well because they're there cooking and taking care of the nutrition program, so they get to eat as well. So they're getting breakfast and lunch. All the families get paid for, or they're eating breakfast and lunch at the center. And they're individually supported by people on TikTok. If anybody wants to sponsor a single mother, please let me know. Well, the round crowd was their own group. I mean, I don't know what the problem was. And Mpatso was kind of doing all right. Like once in a while she would get a C on a test. That was the best out of that group. But it is not the school. It is not the material. It is the student. 100%, 100%. Because I've been with them when did maybe December, January, February, March, April, May, June, like 7 months I've been with these kids. So I know. Hold on, I'm just paying my bill here. Oh, and I happen to wear this shirt today, Lulu. Perfect. Okay, thank you. You guys want to see this one more time? Let's walk back to Chipatso. All right. Bye-bye. Así como. Here's how everyone cooks is with outdoor little pots. They're called charcoal burners. It's kind of like a little campfire thing that everyone cooks their food like that. Hello. Drying some fish. Wait, which one? She was so well spoken and seemed determined? Mpatso? Mpatso hardly speaks a word. She's very, very shy, painfully shy. I mean, a lot of the kids are, but she's extremely shy. Good, how are you doing? Good. Oh, Sharon, yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot we were talking about Sharon for a minute. Oh, yeah, she speaks English very well. She was doing very well up until her senior year night, because what happened was some kids started teasing her. Hold on, some kids over here. Hold on. Hello. Hi. This is a main thoroughfare, if you can believe it. So yeah, she was doing very well. Is that your baby? Oh, hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. Here's your baby. Hi. Oh, little horns. The teeniest little horns coming up out of his head. Yeah, she was doing incredible. Oh, so what happened was, I guess she's very religious, and some kids. She had this guy that she was studying with. So the kids were accusing. Hello, Chipatso. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying, but she said Chipatso. So she was studying with this guy, and they were accusing her of having relations with him. They were teasing her, and she took it very personally, and she took it very harshly, and it messed up, really, she said it just messed with her head. So she couldn't concentrate, whatever. I mean, it's kind of an excuse. But, and then that got to the first semester. And then she was just still having, then she couldn't catch up because of the first semester. She was so behind because she did so poorly. Then she's having trouble catching up for the second term. And then she got suspended because she was hanging out with the religious group on Sunday. Like groups, I guess the clubs, they have different clubs in school, and the clubs are not allowed to gather on Sundays. I don't know, it's just a very silly rule to me, but she was found gathered with her club, her religion club. So they gave all those kids a month suspension. So you can imagine she's behind, she can't catch up, and then she lost a month of the third term. So yeah, it wasn't really the wrong crowd. Right? But I guess it already messed with her head so much or something. I don't know. To me, it was an excuse. I mean, I don't really, you know, I hear a lot of stuff. That's all I have to say. Everyone's got a reason. No one wants to accept responsibility. There's always some excuse. You know, it's life. A lot of people don't want to just accept responsibility for what they did. So, you know, oh, someone did this, someone was saying this happened. It's like, why are you letting it bother you? You didn't do anything with him, so what difference does it make? Let them talk. Who cares? It's, you know, one of those things. But for her, I guess it was very upsetting. And that's what she says. Right? I mean, God, I can't imagine her being in school with American kids. Yikes. Man, they're brutal, but they're brutal here too. You know, kids are the same all over the world. They tease you, make fun of you, call you names. It's the same. You can't even imagine how similar it is all over the world. How kids are so similar. Just really interesting. And teasing's a big deal here. That's why a lot of kids, they don't ask questions in class because they're afraid of being laughed at. The whole class will laugh at you. If you ask a question, the entire class will laugh at you and make fun of you. It's really bad. And I keep telling these kids, like, if you don't understand something, you need to ask. You need to ask, and they just don't do it. They're just embarrassed. Maybe they think it makes them look stupid if they don't know the answer to something. Well, no, you're more stupid if you don't get the answer, right? That's it, exactly. He was being teased for being short. I was like, and he was getting into fights. Like, why are you getting into fights over something so stupid that you cannot change? Are you going to be short your whole life? Probably. So what, you're going to be fighting with everybody your entire life because you're short and they say you're short? I mean, come on. Be a short king, you know. Have some confidence and doesn't matter. Women don't care about that stuff most of the time. You know, go to school, be a doctor. It's what I kept telling him. I was like, he wanted to be a doctor so bad. I was like, then become a doctor. You think a woman's going to mind that you're short if you're making a bunch of money? Hell no. They're not going to care. You know, jeez. I just remember my son was, I would say, very nerdy, and so was his friend. These two little nerdy kids, but they were both very bright. And one day we were carpooling. I said, you know what, you guys, you will never have to worry about being in relationships with anyone. You'll never have to, because I said, you guys both do very well in school. You're going to do very, very well in business. You'll never have a problem. So don't worry about people making fun of you or laughing at you. It will never be an issue. Exactly. He wouldn't even be here around these people. That's exactly. Right? Who cares about height? It's such a silly thing. Here, come here. Look what I have for you. I brought you some hamburger. Where's your brother? Where's your brother? Uh-oh, not yet, not yet. Where's your brother? Get your brother, he's gonna miss. Oh, look at you being nice and sitting already. Where's your brother? Hold on, go, not up on top of me. Go sit down here, come on. Come sit down. There you are. All right, sit down, sit. Sit down, sit. Hold on. Wait, you guys, I can't hold that phone to the dogs. Wait a minute, watch out. Hold on. Here you go. All right, yummy. Okay. Hold on, there's a big piece. Hold on, it's too big. Hold on. There you go. Oh, you guys. Yum. Is that a good snack? Is that good? And then you get a fly? Eat a fly, get some protein. Get the fly. Get him. There you go. Okay. Oop. I know. Okay. Oh, wash my hands now. There you go. A little treat. Oh, there you are. I was like, wow, it's so. What are you working on? You finished all the curtains?
No, I just remembered.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to cut them.
No, you cut them. Figure out the size and cut them. Come on, Messina, you can do it. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off the. Let me get off the. I know. I'm gonna smoosh him too. Look at these guys. Hey, is that good? Diana wants to smoosh your face. We say thank you. All right, bye, you guys.